First, we need to select a region, and I am going to select the West South Central region. Next, we need to take a sample. We're going to take a sample of 100. So we're going to use the random number sample like we've done before, equals RAND. Double click it, hit enter. Now I'm going to go back to that cell, shift, hold down the arrow key, keep holding down the shift. I need to go all the way down to the end of this sample. This is taking a random sample of 100. Okay, keep going. There's usually about 1,000 in each of these. Keep going, see we're at about 600. Holding down the shift and the arrow instead of trying to use your mouse, I think, is easier. Okay, looks like we're almost there. Okay, now I need to fill down. Okay, so that's the down arrow, down. That means that's going to put a random number in each of those. Okay, now I need to sort those, so I'm going to hit shift down. Actually, no, I'm going to go back up. I'm going to delete these rows. So I'm going to highlight row 1, delete, delete, delete. Okay, I'm going to delete the rows to make it easier for me to sort. So I can delete the state, the county, the region. I need to keep the list price. I can delete the dollars per square foot. Now I need to sort the random numbers. So I'm just going to click on C to highlight all of C. Sort smallest to largest. You always want to expand the selection. That keeps the rows the same. Okay, now I'm going to take the first 100. I only need dollars and square feet for what we're doing. Okay, so fortunately 100 is a little bit easier to highlight and select than 1,000. Okay, I use the shift and arrow keys to highlight. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy. I'm going to go to a new tab and paste. Okay, let me make this view larger for the rest of the stuff. Okay, we need a histogram for each of these. So for the histogram for list price, I'm going to click in A1, shift, hold down shift and arrow down. Insert, recommended charts, and here's my histogram. I'm going to double click in here to give it a title. And this is list price. Okay, when I arrow over, I want to be able able to see those numbers down there at the bottom. Okay, add chart elements. We want the titles. Okay, so this is list price. Just using the delete. Go to the end and just delete. This is list price. And the other axis, the vertical axis, double click in there. Delete. This is frequency. Okay, so there's our histogram for our list price. Okay, now I'm just going to move that out of the way. You'll want to screenshot that. Just make it smaller. Now we want to do the same thing for the square feet. So I'm going to hold down shift and arrow up. Insert recommended charts. Click on it and do the same thing. Put your titles in there. Just the same way as the other one. So this is square feet. And you'll put the titles down here using those add chart elements, titles. So make it bigger so you can see the numbers. It doesn't mean anything if you're making a presentation at work. Square feet, add chart element, title, vertical, double click, hit delete or something. I'll just start over. Histogram. Okay, so you'll add your chart elements. These are square feet down at the bottom. Add chart element, the vertical, double click in the box, and this is your frequency. Okay, and our title is square feet. You can put what region it is or something extra in there, but it's square feet for our region. Okay, so there's our histograms. Okay, I'm just going to get those out of the way. We also need descriptive statistics. Okay, now that I'm done, I'm going to click on row 1 and I'm going to insert a row, and I'm going to, well, yeah, that's fine. I'm just going to label these list price and square feet. So I need to get my descriptive statistics. So I'm going to click data analysis, descriptive statistics. Okay. And I'm going to highlight all of them. Don't include the numbers because it can't do any calculation. Don't include the words because you can't do calculations with words. Okay. I inserted a row. That's why there's 101 there. Okay. We have to click summary statistics and OK. Okay, so let's make that bigger. So column 1 is list price, and column 2 is square feet. Okay, so that's the graphs that are needed. Next, it asks about the hypothesis test. So in sheet 2, for part 1, we need a hypothesis test. Is the mean for your region higher than the national value? And if you look in the Excel sheet for the national values, the national mean is 342,365. So we have to identify our parameter. The parameter is the mean list price for the region. We need to find the test statistic and the HO and HA. HO, the mean equals 342,365. HA, now since it said the mean for your region higher, that we're testing the mean is greater than 342,365. Okay, so for our T, our test statistic, we're going to take the mean minus our test statistic. Sorry, I can't type. 342,365, and then divide by standard deviation. Well, it's the standard deviation divided by the square root of n, but a quick thing that you can do, you can divide by the standard error, because the standard error is the standard deviation divided by the square root of n. Okay, so I can do that calculation right here. I'm going to type equals. I'm going to open parentheses. The mean for my list price is this. We're going to subtract 342,365, close the parentheses, and then we're going to divide by the standard error. Okay, so that is the test statistic, T test statistic. Okay, now for the p-value, that's the probability that t is greater than or negative 14.55. Okay, so since the reason that it's greater than the p-value is because it always matches the alternate hypothesis. Okay, so we're going to use a right-tailed test. So I'm going to go to formulas, more, statistical. We're going to come down to the t. Sorry, too much clicking. So more, statistical, t-distribution right tail. Okay, so it says x number, which is our t-distribution, F11. The degrees of freedom is the number in the sample minus 1. So there was 100 in the sample, minus 1 is 99. Okay, so we get a p-value of 1. It's really not 1. Let's increase our decimal here. Well, it is very close to 1. Okay, that's because the T is so low. Okay, we can see that our mean is much less. It's over $100,000 less. Okay, now we need to do the square feet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. Oh, let's finish this out. Okay, since the p-value is more than the significance of 0.05, fail to reject HO. The mean is equal or less than the national. Okay, now you might get a different result if you choose another region. Okay, so let's look at the square feet. I'm just going to insert some columns. Let me go back this way, do it this way. I'm going to insert some columns. Okay, so part 2 is the square feet for your region different than national. Okay, the national value is 2,111. So HO, well, first the parameter is the mean for which region did I do? West something. Mean square feet. Pardon the bad typing. So HO mean equals 2,111. The 211 came from the national values spreadsheet. The mean is not equal to 2,111. Okay, so T, you take the sample from the region minus the sample from the hypothesis, and then you divide by the standard error. So I'm going to do that calculation. So type equals, so that the whole top subtracts, I'm going to do parentheses, and it's this. That's what the mean for square feet minus 2,111, close, divide by the standard error. Okay, so that's my test statistic. Okay, since HA is not equal to, now I need to find my p-value. The p-value is going to be two-tailed. The tail is always based off the HA. Okay, two-tailed is when it has non-equals. So back to formulas, more, statistical, t-distribution two-tail. The number is my test statistic. The degrees of freedom is 99 again, because we have 100 in the sample, 100 minus 1. Okay, and what did I do? Let me start over. More statistical. T-distribution right tail. My number is F12. Degrees of freedom are 99. Okay, so that's my p-value. So since the p-value is more than 0.05. Fail to reject HO. The mean for the region is equal to 2111. There was not enough evidence. Okay, same thing over there. If you don't reject, not enough evidence to reject HO. Not enough evidence to reject HO. Okay, and the confidence interval, wrong thing. The confidence interval for square feet. Okay. We need to find the t-value. 95% confidence means there's 5% error, and 5% error divided amongst the two sides, either too much or too little, would be 2.5% on each side, which is 0.025. Okay, so we want to use more statistical. Let's do confidence T. Okay. Our confidence level alpha is 0.95 because that's the confidence level of 95%. The standard deviation is the standard deviation. We're doing square feet only. And the size is 100 because we have a sample of 100. Okay. Okay, so that's the t-value. To get the error, we multiply t times standard deviation. Actually, since we have the standard error, we can just do t times the standard error. Okay, so that means, let me put an equal sign right here. That's the formula. So to find the margin of error, we're going to equals this times the standard error. Okay, so this is what you plus minus from the mean of 265.987. Okay, so the lower bound is going to be equal to the mean subtract the error, and the upper bound equals to the mean plus the margin of error. Okay, and then it's going to ask you a question. We can see that 2111 is within that range. So the mean square feet for this region is probably 2111. Sorry. Okay, and that is how you complete project 2.